Here we go again. This is Kinks Part 2. Maybe a 5-part or 10-part. Who knows? You can't say enough about the Kinks. Kink controversy, we left off in the last video on this. And in controversy was probably the first great Kinks album where they really started to stretch out and did a lot of wonderful stuff. Um, Great album. But it was still rechanneled stereo. Also, in early '66, they came out with the Kinks' greatest hits. Who cares, right? But it's fun. But now, well, let me mention this one briefly. Also in '66, this was the live Kinks in England. It was called Live in Kelvin Hall. It's a rambunctious, fun live album. A lot of good stuff you'd expect to see. All day and all the night, well-respected man. And he gets up in the morning, which was one of the songs. And where is it here? Never mind. Just you're looking fine. Sunny afternoon, dandy. I'm on an island. It's kind of typical. It's not as revolutionary as James Brown's Live at the Apollo, but it's a good album. It's a fun album. But now we're entering the golden age of the Kinks. And that would start off with the next album, which came out in October of 1966, Face to Face. And we're going to spend some time on this one because this is an important one. But before we do, I need to mention what happened in 1965. When the Kinks did a tour of Australia and New Zealand, it led to a lot of conflicts between the band, particularly between Dave Davies and Mick Avery on drums. And what happened finally when they were in Wales, it became an altercation on stage where Dave kicked over Mick's drum kit and Mick hit Dave with his hi-hat. Well, Dave became unconscious and Mick thought he killed Dave Davies, so he ran off. Oh no. Davies woke up, ended up getting 16 stitches in the hospital, and Mick had to explain it that, oh, that was all part of the act. Yeah, we meant to do that. Yeah. But it just shows you how much controversy, how much conflict was going on in the Kinks. And certainly when you have four young men together trying to achieve something like this, there'd be a lot of tension. And remember, the Kinks were still being banned in America at this time. They weren't able to tour in America until 1969. But this album came out afterwards, which was a wonderful, wonderful album. October '66, it peaked at number 8, and it's a 5-star album. Every track on here is great. We start off with Party Line, which, hello, who's there? You hear somebody say, I'm on a party line, na 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 na. Just kind of a sing-songy, fun song. Good introduction to a fun album, which features some music hall, some good time music, but it's the Kinks' good time music. So they do it really high quality, not some cheesy stuff. Rosie, won't you please come home? Very moody. It has harpsichord. And guess who plays the harpsichord? Nicky Hopkins. Oh, man. So again, at first for the Kinks, the first use of harpsichord in rock. Nicky Hopkins, the great studio musician who provided that. And he also provides harpsichord on some other tracks on here. Rosie, won't you please come home? Next is Dandy. Dandy, Dandy. And of course, Herman Hermits covered that, but they screwed it up. When Ray and company do it, it's more evocative, about a gigolo. 2 girls are too many, 3's a crowd, and 4 you're dead. Oh, Dandy, Dandy. So they bring out the dark side of Dandy, if there is one. And it rocks out in the end. The guitar that sounds like good hard stuff. So it's redeemed at the end. Next is Too Much on My Mind. Dreamy and moody folk song with harpsichord again. There's too much on my mind and nothing I can say. It's just, that was true. In fact, about this time, Ray suffered a nervous breakdown, and physical and nervous, and he was in the hospital for a while. So the Kinks were at their artistic peak at the time. At the same time, they were falling apart. Bands were trying to kill each other. Dave and Mick and Ray having a breakdown. Ugh, what a mess. But out of this came some wonderful music in spite of all that. Session Man is again. Nicky Hopkins plays harpsichord on there. Uh, he never will forget it all. The day he played at Albert Hall. He's just a session man, a part progression, a top musician. Just Ray was. He's not paid to think, just play. So Ray was just very brutal, very honest. Of course, all the bands use session man, even the Beatles. So here Ray gives honor to the special, quirky, strange relationship the session men have to endure in their work. And a great song, very great. Um, Next, we have Rainy Day in June, which is very mysterious, very mystical. Misty shadows spread their wings, their cherished things are perishing. Everybody felt the rain. Everybody felt the rain. Just, oh, Ray, you can do it, man. Just, what a great album. Man, very dark, very deep, very mysterious. Next is House in the Country, which is a lot like Well Respected Man. Same kind of attitude. It's about a guy who has it all and has nothing. He's got a house in the country and a big sports car, but he ain't got a home. Oh, yeah, all right. So again, Ray liked to make fun of the successful class of Englishmen, ones that are, corporate bound and have sports cars and a fancy girlfriend and a house in the country, but they're still unhappy. And he did a really good job of describing that situation. Later on in Lola, he talks about a young guy who has it all and sold it all. And we'll talk about that later. But it's the same theme that runs through a lot of Kinks albums, where they're making fun of the young and successful who've forgotten their way, forgotten emotions and feelings and love and all the true important things in life. Okay, next is Holiday in Waikiki. So we're on side two. Just an English boy won a holiday in Waikiki. Hula hula. So it's kind of a spoof satire song. La 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 la. And Dave is playing the goofy guitar with it. So very tongue in cheek at this point. I think Ray just went beyond here and now, and he was covering all his phobias and all his dreams and all his frustrations. And here he's one of his popular personas is to be this poor young boy who doesn't know what he's doing. I can't tell water from champagne, that kind of thing. And this is an example of that, Wacky Key. Where he finds out that ukulele costs 30 pounds and nothing is free and everything's rigged. You can't win again. Another version of You Can't Win. Next we have on this album, Most Exclusive Residency. Most Exclusive Residency for Sale. Again, a sad tale. He loved to tell sad tales. In this case, the Most Exclusive Residency is for sale. Probably because of a failed romance, failed life. Ray explored the dark side of life. And much more so than a lot of bands did. Pink Floyd kind of explored that as well. But certainly Ray was first. And the Kinks were a very dark, mysterious band at this time. Well, look what they were going through. So that was certainly dark stuff. Next we have Fancy, which has more indie influence. It's just like that song on the previous album we talked about. The guitar even sounds like sitar. My love is like a ruby that no one can see. That's my fancy. Very dirge-like, very dark. Fancy. I mean, the name sounds just like it's going to be a kind of a pop name, but it's not. It's very Indian influenced. It's the other Indian influenced song that the Kinks did. Next is Little Miss Queen of Darkness, which is good time music, but cleverer than most. And little Miss Queen of Darkness dances sadly on, dancing, dancing on. So this is kind of describe the discotheque scene. Little Miss Queen of Darkness is probably a very mixed up young girl who's trying to lose herself in the discotheque dancing, and probably depressed, probably popping pills. Again, Ray is exploring the dark side. So even though these songs are light and bubbly, if you look at them deep, you'll see that they're about some pretty dark, deep stuff. Next, we have Dave Davies doing some R&B. You're looking fine. First time I saw her, she looked all right. Second time I saw her, she looked out of sight. You're looking fine, and I feel all right. So after all this darkness by Ray, Dave rescues the scene with a little R&B and a little kind of fun, kind of a drunky, boozy, all right. Next, we have Sunny Afternoon, which was one of the greatest Kinks songs of all time. The tax man's taking all my dough and leave me in this cruelty. Taking all my ice cream. All I got's this sunny afternoon. Oh, save me from this squeeze. I got a big fat mama trying to break me. But I'm a man that love to live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon in the summertime. So again, it's Ray sipping on the beer. He can't do anything else. The taxman took all his money, so he's just gonna lay away here, having a groovy Sunday afternoon, just floating away. Great song, great Kinks, and nobody could do that dreamy, fun song like Ray Davies could. And this is a classic. It's one of the great Kinks songs of all times. Finally, we end up the album with "I'll Remember." I'll remember everything you said to me, the love we shared, the tears that fall. I'll remember everything you said to me. Dun, 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 dun. The love we share, the tears that fall. What an album. What an album. It did pretty well. It was pretty successful. The Kinks were entering a interim period this time. They had transitioned away from the hard rock. They got into more of the music hall, more of the moody, dreamy pop stuff, and not everybody was following it. I mean, this was 66. This was a time in October 66, a lot of bands were starting to come out with psychedelic albums. A lot of bands were coming out with hard rock. Everybody was doing the Dylan thing. Yeah. But Ray went on his own path. He went on his own way. And we love him for it. Still great stuff. You know, I'm only going to cover 2 albums on this because we're entering the golden age of the Kinks. So please stay with me. It's worth it. Okay. About this time, Quaife suffered in a car accident and quit the band, but he came back. But there was a lot of frustration and a lot of fighting going on within and without the Kinks at this time. Thank God they still made some brilliant music. Now, this is, I think, one of the greatest albums they ever did. It's Something Else by the Kinks. Now, Something Else came out in September of 67. And before that, in May of 67, the Kinks released, I consider, their greatest song of all time. Long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset, I am in paradise. And they talk about, in that song, Terry and Julie. So everybody said, oh, that's about Terrence Stamp and Julie Christie. Well, Ray Davies later said, no, it's not about those guys. It's about my sister. A lot of these songs are autobiographical. And, of course, Ray's sister moved to Australia with her husband. So Ray was saying the song was about his sister and her boyfriend moving to Australia and getting married. And it's about, like, going to other places and seeing other things. Well, Waterloo, well, that's in Belgium, right? Waterloo Sunset. I think it's more intended to be like a timeless situation of dreamy pop. Just a wonderful, wonderful song that everybody falls in love with. It's not hard. There's nothing really tricky about it. It's just so dreamy. It just floats by like lazy sunny afternoon. Same kind of thing. Waterloo sunset sun. Ooh, wonderful stuff. And the whole album's like that. We start off with David Watts, which is another one of my favorite Kinks songs. We start off with a little studio noise and some backward bits. So this is September '67. So that was like as far as the Kinks were willing to go to give homage to psychedelic music at that time. A little backward stuff, about 2 seconds. Wish I could be like David Watts. Because David Watts was a high school member that obviously Ray looked up to because he was the perfect kid. I am a dear and I am a poor and simple lad. Cannot tell water from champagne, and I never have met the queen. When I lay on my pillow at night, I dream I can fight like David Watts, lead my team to victory, take my exams and pass them all. So this is David Watts was the person Ray wished he was. And, you know, everybody knew somebody like that in high school. He was perfect, like perfect grades. He was perfect athlete. We all hated him, right? Well, obviously Ray did too, but he wished he could be like David Watts. Great song. 5-star song. Wonderful stuff. Next we start Death of the Clown, which is, I believe, was a Dave Davies song. Of course, Dave provided the vocals, and the guitar, the background is not so much guitar, it's hammered piano, where they're hammering on the strings. So it's wonderful stuff. Let's all sing to the death of a clown. It's like Pagliacci, the opera. It's sad and evocative. And my makeup is dry and it falls off my chin. I'm drowning my sorrows on whiskey and gin. Wow, what lyrics. Later on he says, the lions won't bite and the tiger won't roar. Just like everything's falling apart. The death of a clown. What a wonderful song. How beautiful. How dreamy. Just unbelievable. Man, like nobody's ever done stuff like that. Next, we have a song about two sisters. She was so jealous of her sister. Again, we have a harpsichord, probably Nicky Hopkins again, I would imagine. She was so jealous of her sister. It's kind of a throwaway song, but it's still good. Next, we have No Return, which is samba music. What the hell is that? Sounds like the girl from Ipanema, but it's still good. It's still fun. And then we get into the music hall. And then on that side, Harry Ragg's still on the first side. We do a whole bunch of English music hall songs. And it's kind of like English folk music. Harry Rag, do anything just to get a Harry Rag. So I crossed myself for the life that I live. Then I rolled myself a Harry Rag and rolled myself to bed. Harry Rag, it's a throwaway. But it's kind of no wonder the Kinks were having trouble this time. Or he couldn't help it. You know, later on he gets into he goes off the deep end with Preservation. We'll talk about that later. But right now he was really into that music hall stuff, and he was out of sync with everybody else in the rock world. But still, people were amazed. Because the Kinks were somebody you always had to listen to because they led the way. They were in the vanguard. Next song on here is Tin Soldier Man. He's a tin soldier man living in a little tin wonderland. More English home music. Wicky wacky wacky doo. He's a tin soldier man living in a little tin wonderland. La 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 la. Put him on your lap and Where does he get away with this stuff? He sounds like the Incredible String Band. You know, we've departed rock completely at this point. But it's still good. It's still good. I'm sorry. I think what makes it special is nobody was doing what Ray Davies was doing then and now. He had that pop sense. No matter what he did, it was still catchy. It had that pop hooks that just got you. Next we get Davies, who saves us again. Love me till the sun shines. You just have to love me till the sun shines. Take my money, I don't mind. So Dave's he brings it back from Ray's forgotten music hall and brings it back into R&B. Thank you, Dave. You saved the day there. About the same time, they had a single come out, November '66, Dead End Street, Dead End Street, which is one of the first rock videos. The Kinks, again, first, they did a rock video, which you can see on YouTube, which was about the Kinks playing around on this antique street, is have a medieval street. They were carrying a coffin around. You got to see it. It's wild. And Dead End Street, Dead End Street, the typical Kinks, lower middle class. There's no future. There's no hope. It's just a dead end street. That's a lot of Kinks right there. But you got to admire them for it. You really do. Back to something else by the Kinks, and it was something else definitely. "Love Me Till the Sun Shines" has some great fuzzy guitar and organ on it. It's almost psychedelic, but it's R&B. Next we get to "Lazy Old Rain," "Lazy Old Sun," which is a very drugged out number. Ray does it about halftime. "Sunny rain, shine my way, kiss me with the wonders of light from your lazy old sun." It's just another kind of sunny afternoon type of a song. But you're going to love this album. Even though a lot of it's not rock, a lot of it is satire, spoof, almost Frank Zappish, but still, it's still great. And next we have "Afternoon Tea," which is more English music hall music. "I'll drink afternoon tea if you will drink it with me." Ray was, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the nervous breakdown. He just got back to the basics at this point. He gave up on hard rock here completely and just went to that dreamy, I don't know, maybe like a pot cloud of smoke. Who knows? But it's very dreamy stuff. Finally, Dave Davies saves us again with "Funny Faces, All Right," which is a goofy rocker. "I see you peeping through frosted windows. Eyes that don't smile. All they do is cry." Again, very dark, very sad. Very sad ends to all the Kinks music. But isn't that a lot of great artists that way? It explores the dark side, the deep dark side of life. And this did that. "Funny faces, all right." After she says it, all she does is cry. "Funny faces, all right." So here we have it. I consider this another 5-star Kinks album. September '67. Nobody else was doing what the Kinks were doing. And I only covered 2 albums on this one. Please forgive me. We'll probably do at least 5 Kinks episodes here. But this stuff is so great. I'm sorry. I love it. So I'll let you go. And please stay with me. We're entering 1967. More great Kinks stuff. Some of the greatest stuff they've ever done, like Lola versus the Power Man. Whoo! And I consider the greatest album they ever did. The Kinks Are the Village Green, which we're going to talk about in the next video. I'll see you then. Bye.